Crypto dreams a brand new range. The future's here, no time to wait.
Hello everyone. How is it going on this beautiful July 14th, 2025? I almost said 1982 because that is when the year I was born. So on July 17th, only 3 days away, I am turning 43, I think. I keep forgetting exactly how old I am, but I think it's 43. So, how have you been? Let me know you are with me in the chat. As always, I want to hear from you. Today is your chance to ask a lot of questions. Very, very important because, as you probably know, Bitcoin has broken all-time highs. And I keep getting the question, is it too late? Is it too late? Should I buy now? Should I wait? And the problem is, I have so many people who just don't start. They ask me about Bitcoin and whether they should start or not. And I tell them, I give them so many options to start. Everything from taking baby steps with dollar cost averaging, meaning once a day or once a week or once a month, you buy a tiny little bit of Bitcoin, to establishing a reserve where you take a lump sum of money and invest it into Bitcoin. So I tell people that, but they are not doing it. Okay, let me see my camera quality. Let me adjust that here because there seems to be a little bit of... Okay, so I think this is better. Okay, this is the week everything is changing, my friends. Bitcoin broke through $120,000 a few days ago. And this is right as the United States government rolls out its most aggressive crypto legislation yet during the official crypto week. Can you imagine? It is crypto week. We live in a world where the US government has a crypto week, and some people are still doubting whether they should or should not engage in crypto, and most specifically Bitcoin. So as always, I am here to help you think through that. Now, I can't give you financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, but what I can do is speak from experience. I am living the crypto lifestyle where the largest part of my net worth is on chain. And I live comfortably. I have the ability to travel a lot. I have time and location freedom because I have embraced this crypto lifestyle. And this is something I want you also to start thinking about. If you can adopt a certain level of that into your life, if you're interested in how specifically that could be done, I do have a landing page. I'm landing in the address here, crypto.lifestyle. You go there, you enter your information, and then you get 4 videos that tell you essentially how I manage these things. Just within the last 2 weeks, I have received the question, is it too late to get into Bitcoin? So often I got the question from single parents. I got the question, actually a lot of people who are already in retirement who want to see if they can stretch their buying power. And I also got the question from folks who are thinking about starting a foundation, starting a company, and they want to explore whether it's possible to have a Bitcoin based treasury in their company. So, as always, the important part is to take the first step. And let me just tell you, you don't need to purchase an entire Bitcoin. If you didn't know that yet, that is not necessary. You can quite literally buy $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 worth of Bitcoin every day, every week, every month. And by doing so, you dollar cost average. It's as simple as that. I actually got myself a credit card recently. It's the Gemini credit card. Let me show it to you. Here it is. So I go and pay with it throughout my travels. And instead of getting cash back in US dollars, I got cash back in Bitcoin. And that is a very nice thing because I automatically DCA like that. So let's talk through a few things today. Number one, what does it mean that Bitcoin is currently discussed, or crypto in general is currently discussed within the US government? I will probably report on the definitive outcomes of these deliberations. But let me tell you that everything really is based on giving legislation that provides stability to the crypto space. Stability in terms of stable coins, making them official enough so that large banks, large family offices, countries, corporations understand that stable coins can be quite literally a currency that they can rely on to invest hundreds of millions into the blockchain technologies. That is something they will be doing. They are also going to finalize the guidance around all the guidelines around tax and requirements and whatnot. If you want to have a crypto native business, that is also important for just all the startups and entrepreneurs who want to get into that space. So all of that is being done as we speak. And again, to me, it's just incomprehensible why we can have that happening and people are still not seeing that this is one of the biggest opportunities they have ever been exposed to in their lives, being part of this enormous wealth transfer. Smart money, or the people who are already rich, they are recognizing this right now and they are buying Bitcoin at whatever price. Doesn't matter to them what the price is, because they understand that where we are now, and I have the price on my watch in real time, 119,800. Where we are right now is in no way even close to what it will be, because of its role that it will play. At the very least, it will be a digital equivalent to gold. Maybe it will go even further where we truly have it as currency, but at the very least, it will be digital gold. And you have the opportunity now to be part of it. So that's the first part, right? The question, how high can it go? I've been following Bitcoin and its correlation to M2. So I'm going to show that chart again because it's really beautiful to see that correlation. And then we can deduce from that. Then we go into the conversation of now or later. Should you get into Bitcoin now or later? Now, put your questions in the chat, please, even if they are slightly out of what I'm talking about, as long as it is crypto related, Bitcoin related. If I know the answer, I will give you an answer, right? I really want your questions in the chat. So here we have the daily chart of Bitcoin. So you see the price evolution here on the left-hand side. That would be February of 2024. And then here we have, of course, where we are now, enormous push. And I've shown you that multiple times. I have this indicator here called M2 Global Liquidity Index. It's essentially all the liquid money in the world combined. And I'm shifting this by 95 days, I believe. 95 days. So this gives us a way to look into the future by 3 months. And I mean, it is absolutely apparent that ever since here, which is December of 2023, there is a correlation between M2. Mind you, again, that this is shifted by 3 months, so it's a way to look into the future. M2, all the money that is liquid, that is in checking accounts of individuals and companies, and it's basically perfectly overlapping with the price of Bitcoin. I mean, this is incredible to me. Now, as we zoom in into where we are now, look that even this recent pump is represented here. I mean, come on, I have 12 to 13 live viewers here. Please let me know that this, if you find this astonishing. This is absolutely brilliant to even have such an indicator available to look at that. Come on, let me know. So then, if we continue this projection, look, I mean, you can't make this up. This is the pump that we had over the weekend. It was all already there in the M2. And if we believe that this this indicator can continue to be trusted or used as a very strong indicator, then there should be absolutely no hesitation for anyone to keep investing in Bitcoin, at least until, well, here mid-October. It looks like there we have the curve starting to go down, but we don't even know if that is the end, right? So certain people, including me, believe that Bitcoin won't make the huge corrections to the downside anymore because the conditions are just not the same anymore as they used to be before, quite frankly, this year. Why? What am I talking about? Well, the way the smart money, the way the big investors, the way the nation states, the way the Fortune 500 companies, the way the big companies around the world behave that invest into Bitcoin as part of their treasury strategy is very, very different from the way traders and speculators, investors, retail, as we call them, behave. Very different. So I personally believe that we won't see a large correction anymore. Yeah, we might go down, but actually, I don't think we'll go down by more than 25% anymore. That is my personal opinion, right? Historically, Bitcoin has gone down as far as 50%, but I don't think that will happen. I really don't think. I think everyone will be waiting for that correction, and it just won't come. Just won't come. Which leads me into the conversation of what can you do if you wanted to start a Bitcoin treasury or a Bitcoin savings account. What can you do? So if you are an individual, most people who have a job and who are not like already well-to-do entrepreneurs, most likely for them, the smartest thing to do is dollar cost averaging. So take the money that you feel comfortable with investing into crypto. Remember, crypto is volatile. Take the money, split it into, let's say, 10, divided by 10. And then over the course of the next 10 weeks, on every Friday or whatever, you go to your favorite exchange and you buy the Bitcoin. And then you set it and forget it. Don't follow the price, because what we're doing is we're waiting for the next 5 to 10 to 15 years where this asset very, very likely will go as far as at least $1 million per Bitcoin, at the very least. But I believe within the next 15 years, we see a Bitcoin that is between between $1 to $5 million. It's just inevitable, in my opinion. So again, if you want to start your journey, I urge you again, go to crypto.lifestyle. That is an address. You can put it into the browser, crypto.lifestyle, and give me your information so that at least you are on my mailing list and you have a fighting chance to get the information. I know not for everyone, this is something they feel at ease to doing right away, right? But you need to at least be on my mailing list. Put your questions in the chat, by the way, if you have any. So what I will discuss now is this way an organization or a foundation could start their journey into Bitcoin treasury, and they could start it today. So how could that be done? Well, if you start a foundation today or a business today, and let's say you have $50,000 available, but this can be done. I'm going to talk percentage wise. Okay, let's make it numbers easy. Let's say you have $10,000 available. So what you could do is right here and now, today, you could invest $10,000 into Bitcoin, and then you could use that money and upload it to a borrowing and lending platform. And what you can do is you can borrow against the value of your Bitcoin. That in itself is already absolutely amazing that you can do that. And you can do that without requiring the permission of anyone. If you know how to navigate decentralized finance, you can do this anonymously and without any application needing to approve. All you need to do is you upload your collateral, your Bitcoin, and then you can borrow against it. Now, the cost of that loan will be probably anywhere between 5 to 8% APR annually. So that's relatively reasonable. So let's say you have invested, you today you buy $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, you upload it to the platform. You can borrow up to 70% against loan to value against that collateral. Now, to stay on the ultra conservative side, because we don't want to get liquidated, you need to make sure you have a good safety buffer. So what I personally do is I borrow up to 30%, even though I can go up to 70%, I borrow up to 30%. So that means if you have $10,000 collateral, you can take out a loan up to $3,000 in this case, and you can make that capital work. The $3,000 can work for you either funding your business, funding your foundation. You create revenue, and with that revenue, you either add to the Bitcoin stash or you pay down a little bit of the loan to keep that ratio healthy. And what I typically do is I try to always stay with my loan between 30 and 35%, right? So if I am below 35%, I borrow more. If I start getting above 35%, I just either add Bitcoin to the stash or I pay down my debt. That's essentially what I do. It depends a little bit on what the price is, what the market is doing. Now, if this is something that you need guidance on, because I, of course, just explained this from a very high level, then you know what to do. You know what to do. Join my mailing list or reach out to me and ask for guidance. I do have a self-serve class as well. So the way this works, actually, the way I help people is I have of course this free course that you can get by going to crypto.lifestyle, but then you also have a course that you can purchase, which is essentially the recording of 2 days of intensive one-on-one coaching, one-on-one group coaching on Zoom. So you have access to those recordings right away. You could start today if you want that. And then you also get the right to access the next iteration of the live version of that. So you get it, the recording now, and you get to attend live next time. Ask me questions over Zoom. That reach out to me if that is of interest. So if we assume that Bitcoin continues to grow on average 25% per year, which historically it has grown by 115% by year. But if we take very conservative 25%, and you now understand that you can build up a treasury where you can borrow against it in a very unbureaucratic way. It's all self-serve. You don't have to deal with a bank. It's all in decentralized finance. Then you understand why it might be a very powerful idea to start this Bitcoin treasury, this Bitcoin looping strategy today. You can do it as an individual, you can do it as a business, you can do it as a foundation. It requires a little bit of gumption and a little bit of faith in this cryptocurrency narrative. But let me ask you again: are there not so many signs right now that give us a reasonable reason to believe that this is the time? I think so. I don't know what else needs to happen in order for people to at least give this a shot. I think unfortunately the way most people work is they will finally feel comfortable when it is too late, right? Then they will feel comfortable. But hopefully you are not that type of person, because you are watching this right now. And that's just very powerful. So I'm very happy you are doing that. Let me see. Anything else I want to address today? No, I think that's it. If there are no questions, by the way, you can always put the questions in the chat. I will definitely respond to them. And if there's nothing else today, I think I have covered everything that I wanted to. Let me think about it for a moment. Okay, so TJC says, if I am hearing you, if there is a lump sum available, buy in, don't wait. Well, I can't I cannot give financial advice without knowing your exact situation. So please reach out to me so that we can analyze what your situation is. Again, but the baseline here is, if you are an individual who, like most people, have a salary or have a consistent income, you don't have huge savings, you're not like already on additional passive income sources. For most of you, it's probably the best way to approach this is to dollar cost average. However, if you feel that you have your regular income situation figured out, no matter what happens with this lump sum of money, then I would feel personally comfortable to invest a lump sum right now, knowing that even if it corrects by 20-30%, I am not too bothered myself. Let me actually explain why I'm not too bothered myself, because I make that money work no matter what. People who learn from me know that I'm a huge fan of providing liquidity to markets and those liquidity positions actually generate fees when there's volatility. And volatility goes both ways. It goes up and down. Now, most people who don't like liquidity provisioning, they don't like it because you can generate what is called impermanent loss in liquidity positions, which is true if you provide liquidity to pairs where there is like a highly volatile asset like a meme coin or an AI coin. But if you do the Bitcoin looping strategy, you can actually choose to provide liquidity to only Bitcoin and stablecoin pairs. So that is quite interesting, right? Because in my mind, I'm winning. I'm either accumulating Bitcoin or I'm accumulating stable coins. And as long as I don't sell, as long as I don't change the range of that liquidity position, then I haven't generated or I haven't realized the impermanent loss. And that then means that I either add to my Bitcoin stash or I pay off my debt. But the infinite money loop is actually in effect. So let me actually show you what I mean by that, because it is maybe a little bit too abstract right now. I just got to make sure that I navigate this safely so I don't show too much here. So let me go here and here. Yeah, I think I'll show you guys these two positions. Yeah, this should be fine. Okay, give me a like and a share because I'm about to show you something very, very powerful. On one hand, you're about to see share screen, and then I'm going to use this window here. Yep. Okay, so what you see here is essentially, and I have this, oh yeah, I have my extension here. So essentially you see that I borrowed a stable coin, USDC, okay, $13,000 I borrowed, and you can see the cost of the loan here. So 5.58% annually, that is the cost of this loan, which is a very reasonable and affordable loan in my eyes. Okay, so I am on one side borrowing $13,000 at the cost of 5.58%. And on the other side, I'm investing that money into liquidity pools. And I told you I would stick with what is called Bitcoin, mainly Bitcoin centered investments, right? So here is a stable coin on the left hand side, USDC, and then Bitcoin on the right hand side. And here you can see what on average this position generates 30%, 36% API annually. So let me ask you, does this sound like a good investment? On the right hand side, the cost of the capital is 5.58% annually. And on the left hand side or on the other side, that same money can generate 36%. And again, this is assuming that that I'm in a win-win situation anyway, because if I get USDC, I can pay off my debt. If I get BTC out of this, I can add to my collateral. So this is something very powerful you could do right away. By the way, let me come back here. If this sounds interesting, and I don't know why on earth this wouldn't be interesting, because I've just shown you how I invest into something that generates 36% annually. That is almost unheard of in traditional finance. Yeah, if you want to know how that works, you know what to do. You need to actually start learning from me. So go to crypto.lifestyle, put in your information, and you have a chance at learning that. Okay. TJC, thanks for the thumbs up. I think that helped you a little bit. If not, reach out. It's very easy for folks to get a hold of me. I'm basically present everywhere. All right. Thank you all for your time and your dedication to learning something new. I am signing off right now, and maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Not sure, but definitely make sure to connect with me on your social media channel of choice. I am everywhere. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on X. I'm on Rumble. I'm on what is it called? TikTok. So that you actually, the most important part is you see that I am walking my own talk. This is everything is always crypto related. This is not just me going live and no, I am the real crypto deal. Oh yeah, by the way, for all of you who are like, that's nice, Shankar, but can you not help me do this for me, kind of thing? I have something coming for you where that is possible. So definitely let me know if you're interested in that as well. All right, this is it for now. Thank you so much for your time and goodbye.